Hey guys, welcome back to Life Up Education TV. I'm your host Natsune. I'm also the author of the book called The Game of Self-Domination right here. Okay, so what do we talk about? Today, it's another episode of ASK Natsune Show, right? This is probably like a 6th or 7th episode, and I'm excited. I have like 6 today, so we're gonna get to it. We're gonna like try to do it as fast as possible. Okay. The first one goes, I'm happy doing this thing, but unhappy when I'm always left behind. Okay, so there's no context around here of like what this person is talking about. But one thing I can say is that like when you focus on happiness rather than your success, rather than your like, money, rather than your cash, like everything you can accept the fact that everything happens for a reason. Like you're no longer feeling like you're left behind. You no longer feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, because everything in life happens for a reason. And when you focus on happiness, like everything is appreciable. Like you're exactly where you should be in your life, right? Like even if something feels waste of time, like when you focus on happiness, like it happens for a reason. Like that event that suffers you was meant to happen for you, right? And you can always come out from it. You can always learn something from it. You can always be stronger because of that experience if you choose the narration to see the situation that way. So that don't focus on the cash, don't focus on the money, focus on your happiness. And that way, really, I'm coming from my very personal experience. Like you can live your life with abundance, you can live your life very happy, so don't worry. Okay, the next one. If I ever make you feel uncomfortable, please let me know, and I'm sorry if I ever did. This is a nice tweet. Well, I don't know if it's nice, but this is a polite tweet. Okay, I chose this because I have a lot of thoughts around like being likable person. Like when you are a leader, when you want to be someone extraordinary, like being liked by every single person is impossible. Like everybody has their own condition. If you try to live your life just being liked by everyone you meet, which is like, I understand it's like not natural ambition that we have inside of us as a human being. Like we want to be liked by others, but if you just navigate through your life predicated on like just trying not to piss people off, then I don't know if that's healthy. Like you can't be different. Like if you want to be that person, like someone that everybody likes, someone that you never like has the courage to be hated, which actually this concept applies a lot in the Japanese society. But I think when you become that person, like it's really hard to create something crazy. Well, I'm talking about like practicality here. So maybe there's something interesting there that I wanted to pick it up, but I'm gonna move on to the next one. The next person says, blocked everyone who was making me uncomfortable. Then that means you're too precious to be blocked. Okay, so meaning that she's letting her connection, the followers, and saying like, I didn't block you, right? But basically what she's saying is she blocked everyone who was making her uncomfortable. Okay, so what do you think of this? I think from the practical standpoint, practicality standpoint, I think it's okay. Like it's just as, in a platform or in this context where it's not serious, right? Like it's just a Twitter, it's just a social media, and you just have like some acquaintances, maybe some friends, but most of them you don't know. Like why do you have to put so much energy and thoughts into like, oh, I should not do this, like, right? So to me that's okay. Like if it's hurting you, like just, you know, do what makes you happy. But I think I would have a problem when it becomes like, when this context to become like something that happens around your friend circle or family circle, like, you know, someone who are close to you, or in a like coworker, even like, you know, daily life. I get it, like there's a practicality in that, to basically just cut them off. But also, you know, you could also use that as a reason for you to raise your standard, and then you becoming stronger, like thicker, like you having thicker skin against like people with a different opinion, people with like, right? So I think when we focus on like life skill rather than like practicality, like cutting people off, you know, your tolerance level against like, you know, people who make you uncomfortable, it's just a reflection of how strong you are. So that's what I would say. I wanted to point it out. Okay, the next one. Actually, we're on a good pace right here. Okay, so the next one. Yeah, I felt uncomfortable here. I either corrected the person or blocked them. Don't take crap off of people. They make you uncomfortable. Set them straight. Be kind but firm. Don't take crap off of anybody. You go. Okay. So again, I think, I mean, this is a positive like this person, I can tell that the intent of this person is like encouraging people to like stand up for themselves, and right. So I think it's good. But again, once again, like, you know, that also creates the culture of separation instead of like unite, union. And you know, like, what's easy is what's easy. Like what's easier is always good in the short term, like practicality, but it's not necessarily always turn out good in the long game, right? So just like this too, like in life, like there are times where people you need to deal with could make you feel uncomfortable at the very like right there, right? Like by the moment. But sometimes you do have to persevere that relationship because that person happens to be someone important to you, or someone you should care about. Like, you know, what if that was your best friend? What if that was your and if we don't have the tolerance, like if we don't have the patience against these relationships, like what's gonna happen to us? Like we're gonna be so alone. And I think it's kind of already happening, and I'm seeing it with the new generation, especially with our generation. I think people are less willing and then have less patience against human relationships. And you know, the number one approach that we know in this generation, I think, is just like cut them off. Like as soon as something like, you know, slightly touches our nerve, let's just cut them off, right? Like, but I think over time I kind of learned how not to do that. But you know, deploy empathy against that person. You know, provide the love, like be kind, and be empathetic to the other person. Like, you know, let's agree to disagree, like, right? So, you know, I think that's also a skill. And again, I think it also shows the direct indication of how strong you are, how capable you are. So just remember that when you do it. Okay, the next one. I need to cry, but I have no reason to. Okay, so what do I think about this? I think you don't have to cry. If you don't have a reason to, like, don't cry. Like, why do you gotta cry? I mean, it's okay if you enjoy crying, like, just do it. But like, why? I mean, like, if it's like, you know, the thing is, like, I wanted to bring this out because I actually do know some people, actually quite a few of them, like, they would try to make drama. They would try to make something to cry on, like, intentionally, like, regardless, like, even if they don't have a reason for it, like, they actually try to find something to cry on. They just try to find something to worry about. And I think even subconsciously, maybe some people are, you know, have that attribute, like, have that tendency, probably, maybe some of you who are watching this, and you know, that almost becomes their like security blanket. Like it's just like, you know, not out of necessity, but they're like producing intentionally to something to worry about. But my thing is like, I mean, yeah, I mean, sadness, like for the sake of art, can be beautiful sometimes, right? Like this is something we talked about in a previous video. But in general, like when we speak about happiness, like when we speak about mental health, like you don't have to worry about something you don't have to worry about, or you don't have to cry about something you don't have to cry about. Unless you enjoy it. I mean, unless you enjoy and you're actually happy for crying, then I'm happy for you. Like, just do it. But if you're doing it to just complicate your life for no reason, and just, you know, that becomes a reason for you to complain, then I think you should stop. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.